This is Coach Ed at Future Elite Academy. You are watching the CIF Southern section this week.
You're watching the CIF Southern section this week.
This is Amari Bailey. You're watching the CIF Southern section this week.
Hey everybody, we're proud to bring you the first ever episode of our brand new weekly streaming show, the CIF Southern section this week. I'm AP.
And I'm Jacob Noel. During a time of no sports, we're so excited to be bringing this to you guys and hopefully filling that void.
Speaking of being voided, both the girls and boys basketball seasons were voided this year. After the CIF Southern section championships, state playoffs were canceled. Unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbled this year. But we were at the last game of the year, the CIF Southern Section Championship. Boys basketball between Etiwanda and Sierra Canyon was an insane game. And actually, the first ever guest on the CIF Southern Section this week is 2022 combo guard Amari Bailey, 5-star recruit from Sierra Canyon, whose season was cut short. In addition to Amari Bailey on the show, we've got some awesome new segments. We've got a segment called Free Game that we'll be getting into. We've got an interview with the commissioner, Rob Wigod. We've got a 3-point contest on CLA versus the world with our own DSPN, Danny DeBeery. He heads off against Amari Bailey from Sierra Canyon, so you definitely want to stay tuned and watch that. And our first ever family function segment where we take families that are quarantining together and just give them some lighthearted sports activities to do during quarantine. You can find Jacob, Noel, and myself, along with DSPN and D Boone, out at Santa Monica Beach with the Martinez family. So stay tuned later on in the show for a brand new segment called Family Function.
This is Coach Ed at Future Elite Academy. Stay tuned for my free game.
Our first ever interview on the CIF Southern section this week is 5-star class of 2022 guard Amari Bailey from Sierra Canyon. Everybody stay tuned.
Yo, what's up? It's Amari Bailey, combo guard, Sierra Canyon, class of 2022. I'm from Chicago, just migrated to LA 2 years ago. What attracted me to Sierra Canyon was how they build their players on and off the floor. Man versus male, for sure. I built a relationship with Cassius, KJ, and Scotty. Those are the three that I got to actually play with for my freshman year, so that was pretty cool. I kind of knew Marvin because we used to play on the same AAU team. Probably Kansas as of right now. They've been the most consistent with the recruitment process with my mom and I. Recruiting has changed during COVID because we can't physically be on the campus. We can't feel the vibe or the energy. Everything's through a Zoom call. I'm kind of sure everyone's tired of Zoom calls, so. I don't have any schools in particular. I would like to go where I'm most wanted and I feel the love. I'm not gonna just go because of the name. Well, the pros of it are that you're gonna get the pro experience every single day with the weight training, the practices, being around like an NBA atmosphere. Those are the pros. The cons are you're not gonna get a college experience. I feel like that's important, especially if you're one of those guys that may not be in college for so long. The college experience, you can grow up and develop for sure. And those are just grown men too that are fighting for their own spot. So it all depends. It's a leap of faith, and if you're ready to do it, then I'll say, by all means, if that's what you want to do, then yeah. Honestly, I didn't like it until probably this year, but I started hanging out with people this year. I was kind of a closed shell my freshman year. Cal experience has been great. I've met new friends. I'm in Hollywood a lot. I like to chill there, get the Benny Hibachi truck. If you haven't gotten it, you should get it. Well, first off, I think it's a step in the right direction for college recruits and college athletes to get paid off of their name, because why can't they profit off of the money that they're bringing to universities? I feel like you have a choice. You can either let that get to your mental and you can complain like, oh, I'm slept on, or you can just go harder. Take it from me, I got cut from my 4th grade team, and my mom just let me know that I got cut, and honestly, I didn't really know how to take it, but I just started working like really hard. But my personal thoughts on that is I didn't think it was hard to get to the point that I'm at, because I'm enjoying myself through the process. If you just enjoy yourself through the process, you're gonna wake up, you're just gonna be like, damn, I'm really here right now. I feel like we stole a game from Etiwanda, and we just had that momentum going to Sacramento. I got the news, I started crying. In the huddle, we were just saying this can't be our last game together. I was crying in the huddle, frustration, tears, we're not gonna lose. And I don't know, that was the hardest 4 minutes of basketball I've ever played in my life. Keep it a buck. They inbounded the ball, and Z Will had a mismatch. I was on the left wing. I was off all night, I would say. And Z Will has this thing in practice where he might have a wide open layup, but he'll pull up for a jump shot intentionally, just working on his craft. And I've seen him shoot that elbow shot hundreds of times. So as soon as it left his hands, I was like, yep, that's game. I just called it. Man, you put me on the spot. My favorite dunker of all time would have to be Vince Carter. My favorite defender would either have to be Tony Allen or Michael Jordan, just because of how he intimidated other players. My favorite college team of all time would be UCLA or Kentucky. Favorite NBA team would be the Lakers. My favorite Kobe Bryant moment was his Mamba Out speech on his last game. It was a bittersweet moment, but I couldn't do anything but respect and appreciate the career and the mentality and the energy that he brought into the world.
What's up, guys? Jake and Noel here. We're currently at Sierra Canyon High School in Chatsworth, California. Right now, we're going to do a 3-point shootout with 5-star recruit Amari Bailey, class of 2022, versus our very own Danny, Mr. DSPN. I'm looking forward to this. I think my bets are on Danny low-key, but we'll see how this goes.
All right, game on.
Ooh, Danny starting off strong. I see you. Okay. Oh, he's starting off well, y'all. Come on. Oh. Wow. I think so, yeah. You had it in the beginning. Okay.
Those three.
Let me get out of the way, y'all. Wow. Okay. Dang. Well, so I also lost my bet, but I mean, good job. I mean, I guess I'm surprised.
Last month, we were able to head down to the CIF Southern Section office and live stream the press conference with Commissioner Rob Wigod, where he was fielding questions from the media regarding fall sports, timelines, etc. But there were a ton of questions from parents, from players, from fans, from other people in the media who weren't able to join the meeting. Everybody wanted to know what was going on. And guess what? We've got the interview. We sat down with Rob this past week and asked him all of the questions you guys have been dying to have answered in regards to fall sports. Will the football season be a full 10-game season? Is there a chance that the season's moved up and they play before this potential January start date? Is there a chance that the season gets scrapped altogether? Well, we asked Rob all of these questions, and please stay tuned because here is our exclusive interview with CIF Southern Section Commissioner Rob Wigod.
Thanks for inviting me, and we are certainly excited to be with you and have CIF-SS this week take off this coming school year. It's going to be a great vehicle for all of us to showcase the great product that we have in the Southern Section. So we're very proud of what we do, and we know you are as well, and just really looking forward to what we're going to get each week from you and your team. So I want to definitely say that and thank you. For the CIF Southern Section, we're a member organization of 565 high schools. We stretch from San Luis Obispo in the north, San Clemente down in the south, all the way east to the Arizona-Nevada border. We have approximately 400,000 student athletes that participate across 88 different leagues. And we have public schools, private schools, charter schools, single gender schools, a wide variety of different educational experiences. But I guess what's kind of neat for us is that they all share one thing in common, and that is that they love the idea of education-based athletics. And so whether they're a school of 50 students or a school of 4,000 students, they still believe in education-based athletics and have some programs available to their students to be able to be part of something like this that's so special.
We're really grateful to be involved with what you guys are doing. Well, I mean, I guess let's get to it. We've got some questions for you. We fielded questions from our Instagram. We have an Instagram, which is at CIF-SS this week. So go ahead and make sure you guys follow. Also follow at CIF-SS, which is the official Instagram handle and the official Twitter handle for the CIF Southern Section. But we fielded some questions from social media yesterday, and some good ones, to be honest, because, again, it's uncharted territory. So the general public doesn't really know what's going on. Not everybody sat through the press conference that you guys had last month. But just to kick it off, one of the questions that was most popular, had many likes, was do you guys still plan on starting the fall season in January? And if you guys don't start in January, is there an alternate plan?
Our sports calendar is in place, and it's going to be in place as it is. We are going to see what develops over the next few months. If we get to a point where we're moving towards December and we're seeing that things may not have improved enough and our schools aren't able to get back to athletic programs, then I think we can still monitor that situation up to and into maybe the month of January. And it would be somewhere maybe towards the end of January where a decision would have to be made on whether we could proceed or not. There won't be a situation where we would change the calendar at that point. I think we would only have to get to the point of saying that we would have to cancel that season of sport. We certainly don't want to, but the important element is league play. We have to be able to have viable league play. And if we can't have viable league play, then we can't go any further than that for section championships or other things. And so there would have to come a point where viable league play wouldn't be possible, and unfortunately the season would be canceled. Instead of moving it backward, because as you know, our spring season then would kick in approximately the beginning of March. And so there's already been many challenges with the number of sports that have been put into 2 seasons versus the normal 3 seasons. And there really isn't going to be a mechanism where pushing the fall sports even further back and moving into the spring season is going to be possible. So that's how we see it playing out. But certainly our hopes and expectations are that we'll be able to get this calendar launched in December as we've got it scheduled. And I hope everyone's focused on that and doing the part that they need to play. They need to do what the health authorities tell us. We all need to be practicing the protocols that are out there so that we get to that point and have done everything that we can. That's really important.
For high school football, let's say there's a 10-game schedule, right? Most teams play 5 preseason, or not preseason, but 5 pre-league games and then 5 league games. Would there be a possibility if things were different that it would only be those 5 league games and then playoffs?
Correct. And I think in talking with our schools and knowing what they want, we were able to deliver pretty much full regular seasons in all of our sports across the 2 seasons. And I know that was really important to our schools and our student athletes.
If the numbers start trending down, and one of the student athletes, actually a father of a Sierra Canyon player, asked this question: if the numbers start trending down, is there a possibility of starting the season earlier than that December, January?
And that's a great question. And I think we took that into account with this calendar. What we were looking at in the months of August, September, October, November, let's say that things do really improve and there is opportunity to get back out there and even have competitions take place. That's why we extended our summertime rules. What that does is gives our schools flexibility. If they want to play off-season games, they want to have tournaments, they want to play 7-on-7 football, they want to do their weight training, conditioning, the normal things that they would be doing in the summer, they will have those months available to do it. And we think that's going to be a very effective way for this gradual return to sports, because I think everyone has to know there isn't going to be a 100% all clear and everyone's coming back at the same time. We have 7 counties in our southern section footprint. Some of those counties have different circumstances than others. And so these are decisions made by the individual schools, school districts, and private schools, consulting with their local and state health authorities. So therefore, as these schools come out, they will have those opportunities to help them prepare for the actual high school season. So we think that the extension of summertime rules into the September, October, November months will be a good answer and a good opportunity for our schools to help them build like they normally would build for a high school season versus taking the entire calendar and, let's say, moving it up a month or 6 weeks in a circumstance like that.
Will the 2021 fall season be postponed, that's due to start in August next in 2021 because fall sports are moved to spring this year?
We haven't gone forward with any discussion about that. I think our focus is on the 2020-2021 school year and really hoping that we're able to deliver fall and spring sports for our student athletes. And going forward from there, I mean, this has been a different year like no other. And our hope would be, if we're able to accomplish what we can in this particular school year, that we would be able to start the 2021-2022 school year as a, quote, normal year. I think that would be incredible if we are able to weather what's ahead of us for this one and then be able to look ahead and go ahead with the next school year as it normally would go. We need to depend on our coaches. We need to depend on all of our educators and professional educators to be aware of what that might mean for the student athletes. And if football is going to end in the middle of April, what kind of program are we going to start implementing immediately afterward to prepare for the next year to start in August? We would hope that our coaches and our educators would be very reasonable in how to allow enough recovery time before they really cranked it up for the following year. But as of now, we'd love to be able to accomplish what we can in this particular school year, what we've planned to do. And then 2021, 2022 just takes its place among all the regular normal years we've had in our history before this last one.
In what way are transfer rules changing to adapt to everything that that's going on with COVID?
Well, the transfer rules, as well as all of our rules, are made by our member schools. They're not made by me or anybody else who works here. So, and they are statewide. The transfer rules are statewide, the same in all 10 sections across the state of California. So obviously with the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to be, I hope, proactive and understanding of the circumstances that situation has brought forward to our students and their families. And so there has been an accommodation made in the hardship waiver under bylaw 207, which is our transfer bylaw, to allow for financial hardship to students who have gone through and families who have gone through a financial crisis through what we've seen over the last few months. They would have immediate eligibility at any school they choose due to financial hardship with proper documentation and so forth. So that was, I think, a major accommodation made in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we've had that in place now since May for those affected so severely.
Cheers to you guys for that, because I see the reality of transferring all the time, and at the end of the day, a family from a lower socioeconomic standpoint doesn't have the same ability to just up and move and to go to a different school like somebody else does. So you kind of evened the playing field with that, right?
Right. Well, we have, and as I said, we didn't want to be a barrier to families and to students that were having difficulties. We wanted to be an entity that was going to help them, and so we've done that with the financial hardship. The other transfer bylaws are in place, as I said, they're statewide, and unless there was something else that needed to be addressed specifically due to COVID-19, they're going to remain that way, because I believe that the most significant issue with COVID-19 was addressed and has been addressed by the CIF. And when I say CIF, I'm referring to statewide and not just the southern section.
Now, last question, a little bit lighter here, and you can see the curls here, but you can't really see the hairline under there. Somebody wanted to know why is your head so shiny?
That's a great question, and I don't know. Like, I can see it kind of reflects right now off the top, but I started the hair started leaving me at a very young age, and it was just my father was in that boat, and the same thing happened to me. Believe it or not, Aaron, at one time I had some curls that looked like yours. Not all the way to that, but I had a pretty full head of hair at one time back in the high school days, and when I was a football player too. But those days are long, long gone, and I don't know. I just tell everyone when they ask me what I do, I say, well, some of you might use different shampoos and whatever. I use Mop and Glow, and maybe that's what it is. And if the shine is too distracting,
Mop and Glow.
Yeah, that's the secret.
I like it. Are you guys going to put in a plan in place for capacity for fans, or do you guys have a plan moving forward for fans at the games? This is my last question.
Okay. Well, again, that's going to end up being a local school district, private school decision in consultation with their local health authorities and the state health authorities. So those kinds of individual cases about, can we let people into our gym or to our stadium or to the tennis match or to anything that's happening, to the pool deck for water polo, it's going to be done at the local level. And I hope everyone realizes that while we are an all-encompassing organization with the master plan and the calendar for all the sports and everything, hopefully that we can do going forward, it's still going to end up being those individual decisions to make sure that in that particular area that there's going to be the health and safety protocols necessary to have spectators there, or if they're going to have them, what guidelines they need to follow to social distance or wear masks or whatever they might do. So as I said, there won't be a CIF Southern section. This is what you have to do at every game, because it's going to vary by the different locales that we have. Yeah, and again, the state and local health authorities, they're going to rule the day. My father was a doctor. His father was a doctor. I messed it up. But my grandfather and father were both doctors, and my whole life has been about listening to what doctors say. And I think that's what we need to do now. And they'll tell us when we can allow the fans in and what we can do when we do.
Thank you again so much, Rob Wigod, the commissioner of the CIF Southern section. Nearly 400,000 athletes, 565 schools. That's over a third of the schools in California, correct? So
just about, yeah, just about.
Yeah. So Rob, we appreciate your team over there. Tom, Chelsea, you guys run a great organization, and we're thrilled to be partnered with you guys, and looking forward to seeing what's ahead for the CIF Southern section.
Well, thanks again, Aaron. I really appreciate everything you're doing too. And can't wait to see the first episode when it comes out. So thanks again.
You're watching the CIF Southern section this week.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to our first installment of Family Function with the CIF Southern section this week. I'm AP.
And I'm Jacob Noel.
And we're with the Martinez family here at Santa Monica Beach, and we're gonna play some beach volleyball.
Let's get to it.
Hi, my name is Isabella Martinez. I'm a class of 2022 and I go to Chaminade High School. And this is my family, my dad, Steve Martinez, my mom, Dana Martinez, and my little sister, Shayla Martinez. So I'm the class of 2022. I'm an outside hitter for Chaminade Volleyball. And Corey Chandler, my coach, has really helped me develop the game. However, I do prefer beach over indoor, and I've been playing beach for about 5 years now, and I plan to go to Cal Poly to play beach volleyball. It's been really amazing to play beach volleyball during quarantine because it's a sport where you don't really need to social distance that much because you're out in the open. So I'm able to see my friends and we're able to get together and play some games while still being safe. And it's just overall amazing to still play the sport I love during quarantine.
We needed to find an activity we could do as a pod, and thankfully beach volleyball is outside and you can do it rather safely. So we as a family have come down to the beach as often as we can to play a little volleyball.
So my sister Shayla and my dad won.
Yeah!
And you can see Shayla coming up in high school soon, probably going to be the MVP of the team. But thank you for watching our family function.
This next segment is called Free Game, where we'll be bringing in some people from the sports world, and they have 1 minute on the clock to give as much advice as they can.
Hey, how's it going? This is Eddy McGilvra. I'm the co-founder and director of football operations at the Future Elite Academy here in Westlake Village, California. And this is your free game. In 3, 2, 1. Free game on some defensive line work, guys. It always starts with your get off, and it always ends with how you finish with your hands and eyes. If you have good leverage, offensive linemen hate playing below their belly. They don't like to bend. No one likes to bend when they're trying to block a defensive lineman. So your free game is get off low, stay parallel to the ground with your chest, see the hands with your eyes, and finish through lower than where you started, changing the plane of your shoulder pads. If you guys can do this consistently, what will end up happening is the offensive lineman will start to open up his gate, which is his hips. When he opens up his hips and gates, that's when he loses his power. Once he loses his power, guys, you have him in a blender and it's over from there. Then you start getting fancy with it, give him a little sauce, and you finish with a sack. And every time you finish with a sack, this should be the best free game of all. You finish with a celebration and you dance and you show it that everything that you did there worked. I hope you guys enjoyed that free game segment. You guys can find me at Instagram at Eddy McGilvra all together, where I post defensive line training videos, give you some tips and some pointers on how to up your game.
Thank you guys so much for watching our very first episode of CIF Southern Section this week. Make sure to stay tuned for next week and comment down below who you think we should feature on the show next. AP?
And all of our episodes are hosted on the official CIF Southern Section YouTube channel. So make sure that you guys subscribe and actually subscribe to the notifications, turn those on. But we're going to be bringing you everything CIF Southern Section sports from the girls and the boys side. So we're excited to bring you guys a brand new show with a brand new twist on the CIF Southern Section. See you guys next week.
Peace.